Carbon Knights Gaming.
Welcome back, Knights, to another Carbon Knights Summoner's War video. Today we're going to be looking at the top mistakes made by starter accounts or even some early mid-game accounts. It's pretty easy to spot a few of them, and hopefully today we'll show you a couple and help you from keeping them again, or keep making them again. Um, as per every Carbon Knights video, let's get it started off with our beer. There we go. All right. So let's take a look at a few things that will either help you progress slightly better or make it so that the game's slightly more enjoyable for you, which it should be. The first one, and this you can watch anybody else's videos, everybody's going to mention the same thing: crystals. What's the best thing to do with crystals? Obviously, what does everybody do? You buy premium packs. Now, why do you buy premium packs? Well, you get 11 mystical scrolls, you get some mana stones, and you get some angel mod. Well, that's perfect if all you're doing is looking for monsters. But at the end of the day, monsters without runes are nothing. So what else could you use those crystals for? Well, crystals work really well for refreshes, and instead of 750, cost 30. Let's take a look, make sure I've done some stuff here today. So let's do a quick necro run. So when you're using crystals, and I know I did this when I first started, I know Poseidon did this when he started, and given that both of us are a free-to-play account, it's uh it's difficult to say that you don't need to summon. Of course you need to summon. You need to get monsters. You need to be able to progress in the game to enjoy it more. That's a given. But summoning everything all the time, that's not something I would agree with. If you watch any of the higher ranked guys, and I know they put a lot of money into the game, some of them do, some of them don't. But even the ones that do put money into the game, they always save crystals just for farming. You only have a limited amount of energy per day. You have a limited amount of energy usually in your stock that you can hold on to. Um, for me personally, I keep all of my energy until I need it. So I don't go as soon as I get a gift from Comtuos or a sign-in bonus or the monthly or the yeah monthly bonus where you get like 100 energy. I don't instantly click it. I leave it hanging out in there, and then when I need it, when I have a little extra time to be doing some farming, I grab it. And that's, it saves some crystals for me. And yes, I still use some of my crystals for summons. I will admit that. But it's not every time I get the chance do I blow all my crystals on summons. So hopefully this doesn't give us enough energy to do another run. All right. So if I want to replay, I can go to the gift shop where my gift shop, like I said before, I keep all my energy until I can use it. So I've got a fair amount in there, so that's usually what I do. But you can also get 20 energy just for 500 friendship points. Those are pretty easy to get. Or you can get your full recharge for 30 crystals. Now, I obviously think that if you have upgraded the thing to get 90 as your max energy, this you're going to get more benefit out of this, obviously. But if it's in the 80s or something, and you have a few extra crystals and you want to farm, it's a great way to do it. So the first thing to do is stop wasting crystals on monsters. You can grab one premium pack every once in a while, like you see. I am a free to play player. I have 4,000 crystals, and all of my summons are get out of there, nerd. So all of this is free to play. So there's been some events that have gotten me some light dark scrolls. Um, I got some codes that gave me from when the arena tournament was on. um, the World Championships, I guess. I got some codes. That's another thing. Keep your eyes open for codes. Give them a try. If they work, they work. If they don't, there's no harm. And then I got some mystical scrolls, and I still have all of my crystals that I started with. I also have a lot of exclusive summons, which I will give you a hint. Next week's video is going to be a summon video, uh, mainly because Varad is in the rotation, and I really, really want a Varad. So might not be next week's, maybe next week's. Oh no, I'm out of town. It'll be the week after next because he's in the rotation next week. But anyways, back to topic. Save your crystals. use them for farming more often than you're going to use them for summoning monsters. Next point, kind of bases off that, right? Farm. Farm those runes, right? Like I said, your monsters are going to be useless unless you're farming. If you're not getting those runes to be using these monsters, then you're not going to be gaining anything, right? You're going to have these great monsters, and I can show you afterwards um, an account that is just that problem. I do have my account is on global for anybody that's watching, and I do have an account on Europe. Now, the only thing I do on my Europe account is wait until I have enough summons and I summon them. And for that to happen, every once in a while you're going to get lucky. So on an account that I think is level 23 that I've had for 2 years, um, I have a Fengyan, I have a Ganymede, I have a Samath, and I have a Chow, all of which suck. They're they have no runes, they have nothing to offer in the game. I think it clears Giants B4, maybe, if I'm lucky. But farming, make sure that you're hitting those dungeons. And if you can't hit the higher dungeons, right, and this gets to another point of trying to progress too quickly. If you can't hit Giants B10, or you can, but it's like a 50% clear rate, and then you get Giants B9, say 90%. Well, obviously you're going to be getting a better turnout from the Giants B9, and you can still get, your Legend 6-star runes from there. They won't drop as often, but you can still get them, right? So make sure that you're farming to the level that your account is. Don't be trying to push too far. Don't be thinking that, oh, the only way I'm going to progress is if I get better monsters. No, there's really, really good 3-star monsters, 4-star monsters, but I know I've seen a lot of stuff where 3-star monsters are progressing really, really well in the game. But make sure that you're constantly farming as much as you can. Save up your energy, and if you have a lot of like a lot of time on your hands, or you got a day off from work or a day off from school, whatever it might be, that's when you sit down, right? You know, he's sitting in front of the TV, just sit there, let it go. Every couple minutes, look back. Yeah, no, that run's done. Start it up again. Um, and don't focus on trying to progress so quickly, right? Enjoy the game. Don't think that the end game is making sure that you win everything, because half the fun of the game is trying to make your monsters better, and that's the way I look at it. I know a lot of people like other Carbon Knights, who I won't mention Beast, have become frustrated with the game because it's a very difficult game to progress in if you're not getting the runes that you want. The only way to get them is to keep going and keep farming. And find small ways to have fun with it, right? Try and better your time slightly. Tinker around with your monsters. If you're doing arena, try different combinations. You would be surprised as to how well a lot of 4-star and 3-star monsters can do. Like, as you're looking at this team, these are all 4-star monsters. Um, yes, one's a light dark 4-star, which I will admit not everybody has. And then one is a 3-star light dark monster that is available to everybody. So this team wouldn't work without the runes that make them run. Um, Another point is make sure that you're doing your arena stuff. Um, this is a mistake that I have made on this account, and I continue to make on this account because I rarely sit there and tinker around with arena. I usually leave like a weaker setup for my defense until kind of Thursday, Friday, and then I'll set it to a better one, um, just to keep me in like that fighter 3 range, that conqueror 1 range. Just because it's crystals, right? It's free crystals for playing the game, and that's what you're doing, right? If you're saving up crystals, you can get 100 crystals every week from being fighter 3, and it's not that difficult to achieve. Um, but make sure the reason you want to be doing your arena wings is because of your flags. You want to make sure that you're upgrading all of your totems. You want to be sure that you're working on those, because those are essentially free runes that you don't see on your monsters, but you get. You get to use those. You get to use them in everywhere. So make sure that you have the time, you have the chance, you're utilizing those wings. Easiest way to do it is, if you're not concerned about finishing higher in arena, which in a lower level you shouldn't be, um, throw up like a 2-star monster as your defense. Other people that'll hit you, like they're going to be in roughly the same area. And I know a lot of people, and Poseidon was doing this with somebody that he'd never met before, um, was just running like a two-star defense, and the guy was doing the same thing. They would just constantly hit each other all day. Once this run's done, I'll show you what my towers are at and why it's such a big deal. Um, I know I've maxed three of them. I've maxed my attack tower, I've maxed my crit damage tower, and I've maxed my speed tower. But I still have HP, where in the meta that the game is currently in, you can be a bit slower, and if you're tankier, you can usually survive fairly well. And it just it adds a different element to the game, right? Farming, yeah, it can get boring. So take your chances. Farm when you're farming, and if you're out of energy, you know what, throw a couple wings down. If you get 10 down, that's perfect, right? Um, but just make sure that you're utilizing the game to the fullest. Um, and that's the best part of it is there's so many different things to do in this game. So for me, I was farming arena wings. Yeah, ran out farming dungeons. So I usually pick one dungeon a month. Last month I ran giants the whole time. All my farming was done on giants. And then this month, obviously, I'm doing necro. So um, it adds a different element to the game. And the point I'm getting at to that is let's take a look at these towers first. Where do you see those? Shop. No, no, no. Where the hell are you going, Todd? All right, glory shop. So all these, that's not as important. Your arcane towers, don't worry about your arcane towers. Your mysterious plant is a good one that gives you that extra um, energy quicker. And then your sanctum of energy, that's another good one. That bumps you up from 80 to 90 for your max energy. And then you can start refreshing with those crystals, and then you're getting the biggest bonuses out of it. But for me, like wind attack, I was kind of adding around with once I got my first Lucian. The light sanctuary I have no use for at the moment. But like my defense, I really need to bump up my defense as well as my, where the hell is the other one? My HP. So I'm losing out on probably 6% HP and 12% defense on every monster that I have just because I don't have those leveled up. It's something quick and easy, and of course, the only way you get them is through doing your arena wings. Um, Now, like I had mentioned before, um, it's all about enjoying the game to the fullest, right? If it's something that you want to do, or if you're just looking for monsters, then that's all you're doing. A credit card is the easiest way. I'm not gonna lie. You can just summon for days and days and days, but you're not gonna have fun playing the game. Um, so build those kind of niche monsters. Look at the ones that here, let's see what we got here. So your three two-star monsters. So Colleen is a two-star monster, still used in R5 activity, like the raid level fives, right? You're looking at other monsters, your fusible monsters, which we just did a series on. All of them have things to offer and stuff to bring to the table, right? Then you're looking at three-star monsters, bulldozers, still used in um, high-level RTA. If you're ever watching real-time arena stuff, which I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got into at the very end of season 10. I think it was 10. Um, and I'll show you how I finished up at the end of that, at the end of the video here. But a three-star monster, still used heavily. Um, More your fusible monsters, right? These are all things that you can take and play around with, right? Look at where you can use them, look at where you can enjoy them the most, and then from there, kind of look at your different builds, right? Like, do I want Beretta on a faster build? Do I want her on a slower build? Is there any way that perhaps, is accuracy more important than speed, or is accuracy more important than, let's say, a resistance or a crit rate, right? So take the time to kind of play around and look at those lower level monsters. I'm not doing a very good job of showing them off right here, but um, enjoy them and look at them and kind of see where you would use them. And it's always fun when you take a monster that's not supposed to be good and you turn it into something good, and it's just fun to play with. But yeah, hopefully this looks at some things. Um, it kind of reverts back to the fusion. Make sure you're building those fusions if you're a beginner player. The rune video I did a while ago, make sure you know what type of runes you're looking for and what kind of stats you want on your monsters. Not every monster needs speed. Not every monster needs a lot of HP. Not every monster needs a lot of attack, right? Especially for beginner players. Every monster tells you, whoop, wrong button, tells you what type of monster it is. You look at Rena, for example. Once again, a 3-star unit that's still used in higher level arena. Um, she doesn't need a lot of attack. She doesn't need, if you look at her skills, she gets a shield. Every time that somebody crits her, she gets a shield. That's equivalent to, like, what, 50% of her HP? So you now have a monster. Say you're fighting against a Sierra, a bomber, right? She can put one bomb. I don't think her bomb's going to be doing 30, 40,000. If she's throwing down a 40,000 damage bomb, then that's a pretty good Sierra. But, with me, I take Arena into every Sierra. It's easy. She throws a bomb down, blows it up, crits. Now I have, a 20,000 HP shield, as well as I can just heal myself up because her second skill heals. So now Sierra is going to constantly be targeting that because it's the element difference, and I can just sit there and pick away at the rest of the team, and I don't have to worry about Sierra in the slightest, right? So that's one thing. Learn the monsters. It's really fun when you can start kind of manipulating an arena and having some fun with like even in Necro, I bring one light unit, and I build that light unit the tankiest because all the monsters in Necro B10 are dark. So they're going to target that one monster. She's tankier, doesn't make a difference, right? They can sit there and hit her all day. She can heal herself, and then all my other monsters just sit there and attack. Um, but yeah, just that's the big thing. As newer players, the biggest mistakes I've noticed are wasting crystals on summons, which I'm not going to lie, all these crystals will probably be used on summons. So I'm kind of a hypocrite. I don't care. Put it in the comments. Say, Torch, you're a hypocrite. Not listening to a thing you say. Perfect. But make sure that you subscribe so that you can say it on the next video as well. And hit that like button because I've got a nice voice or something like that. But yeah, so don't waste crystals, especially as a newer player, on summons all the time. Make sure you save some for those days where well, I've got an extra hour, but I don't have any energy. That's fine. Refresh your crystals, right? Don't be focusing on just the monsters that people tell you to. Don't be focusing on, only 5 stars. You can only use 5 stars. My first 5 star was a Rakan, and I didn't build it for probably a year because I had no use for it in grinding dungeons. Um, Another thing, make sure you're understanding your runes and make sure you understand your monsters, right? Once you understand the monsters, you understand the game a lot better. You can utilize that to, in say you're doing an arena. And like I said, you can utilize using a tanky water monster to soak up all the damage from a damage dealing wind monster, right? So once you start understanding the game and understanding the runes and understanding how the monsters work a little better, you're going to have a lot more fun. And so, like I said before, I I wasn't in the dumps about the game, but I wasn't enjoying it as much as I was beforehand. So I figured I'll take a look at RTA, and I ended up finishing as a C1. So I got my fancy set of whatever they are, butterfly wings, and see how they look on the monster I put them on. Where are you? There. So there we go. We got Hathor on some fancy butterfly wings, and then the other ones I got just the normal wings because that's essentially all I've ever wanted from RTA. So I put a set on like Lucian, as you probably saw. I put a set on Okeanos because he was a big influence in how I was playing, and I put a set on my Wusa. So for me, it kind of brought, and that's kind of why I wanted to do this video, was it brought to life more fun you can have in the game just by understanding and kind of testing out the different elements of it, right? Obviously, farming, you're going to have to work on it. That's the only place you're going to get runes unless you swipe a credit card. And if you swipe a credit card, that's cool, but make sure you understand the runes that you're putting onto your different monsters. Um, so hopefully this helps somebody out. If it does, throw a comment down. Let me know kind of the mistakes that you might have made. If you're a mid-game player, um, just let me know. The mistakes that I made, because I'm not going to get them all. I know I'm not, and it's like I've said before. It's fun for me to learn how other people have progressed in the game. So let me know mistakes you've made, and how you've dealt with them. And then, yeah, just throw a subscribe down. There'll be more videos like this. Like I said, in a couple weeks, it's going to be another summon video. I think I'm going to have about 170 summons total, and that includes my stones. And I do believe that Poseidon's going to let me jump on his account as well, so hopefully we can pull him another Nat 5. And yeah, so yeah, like, subscribe, hit the little notification bell if you want. If you don't, that's cool. If you're on Twitch, twitch.tv/carbon_nights, jump on there, throw a follow down. It'll let you know when we jump online. You can come ask your questions in person. Doesn't matter what game we're playing. I know we've been looking at a few ones. I don't know if I'm allowed to say what ones yet, but I know that we are looking at adding a few more games kind of into our repertoire. So, with that being said, thanks for hanging out with me, Knights. Hopefully this helps you out a little bit. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And until next time, keep those shields up. Well, Knights, you made it all the way to the end. You know what that means. You've won the chance to watch another one of our videos, or perhaps even subscribe. Make sure to leave a comment, and we'll see you next time.